Once upon a time, in a small valley surrounded by green hills, there lived a young man named Elias. He was kind, hardworking, and full of dreams, but he had one problem. He never finished anything he started. Every few weeks, he would start something new, learning music, painting, writing, or helping his father in the fields, but soon he would grow bored or discouraged and quit. His house was filled with half-written books, half-painted canvases, and half-built tools. Elias often said to himself, "Maybe I'm not talented enough. Maybe success just isn't meant for me." But deep inside, he always felt something missing, a small voice that whispered, "You give up too early." One morning, as Elias walked to the river carrying water pots, he met an old man sitting by the bank. The man was carving a stone with a small hammer and chisel. He looked old, his hands rough and slow, yet his eyes were bright and peaceful. Elias stopped and watched him for a while. The old man hit the stone again and again, hundreds of times. To Elias, it looked pointless. The stone didn't even crack. Finally, Elias asked, "Old man, why are you wasting your time hitting that stone? It hasn't moved at all." The old man smiled gently and said, "You'll see." The next morning, Elias returned to the old man by the river. "Can you teach me how to be like that stone?" he asked shyly. The old man chuckled. "You don't need to be like the stone," he said. "You need to be like the one who never stopped hitting it." He invited Elias to sit beside him. "Tell me, what do you want most in your life?" Elias thought for a moment. "I want to be successful. I want to do something meaningful. But I always stop halfway." The old man nodded knowingly. "Then I will give you a task. It's simple, but you must promise to do it every single day, no matter what." Elias agreed eagerly. "Good," said the old man. "There's a small sapling near the well behind your house. Every morning, water it, just 1 cup of water. Not too much, not too little. Do it daily, at the same time. Come back to me after 100 days. Elias was puzzled. "That's all? Just water a plant?" The old man smiled. "Yes. And remember, don't skip a day. Not even one." Elias went home and found the tiny sapling, barely taller than his hand. He filled a cup with water and poured it gently at its roots. The next day, he did the same. And the day after that. At first, he felt motivated. It was easy. But after a few weeks, the excitement faded. One morning, it rained heavily, and Elias thought, "The rain will do it for me." But then he remembered the old man's words, "Not even one day." So he went out in the rain, soaked and cold, and poured his cup of water anyway. Another day, he overslept and almost forgot. Another day, he felt tired and thought, "It's just a small tree. Missing one day won't matter." But he didn't skip. Something inside him was changing. A quiet determination he had never felt before. By the 50th day, Elias began to grow frustrated. The plant looked almost the same. He grumbled, "What's the point of this? I've been watering it every day, but it's still small." That evening, he went to see the old man again. "I don't think this is working," he said. The old man smiled calmly. "Ah, the roots," he whispered. "The roots." "Yes," the old man said. "When you don't see results, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. The roots are growing under the soil, where your eyes can't see. They're becoming strong enough to hold the tree when the storm comes. That's how life works too." Elias went home quietly. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the roots. Days passed. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, Elias started to notice changes, not only in the sapling, but in himself. The little tree had grown a few new leaves. It stood a bit taller now, stronger, greener. Elias began to realize that the real transformation was inside him. Every morning, when he got up to water that tree, he was training his mind to be consistent, to do small things every day even when he didn't feel like it. By the 100th day, the tree was clearly growing, and Elias felt proud. He went to the river, where the old man sat as always, carving another stone. "I did it," Elias said with a bright smile. "I watered the tree every single day for 100 days. The old man looked up, smiled, and said, "Then you've learned what you came for." Elias frowned slightly. "But I only watered a tree." The old man chuckled. "No, you watered your discipline. You grew your consistency. You learned that great things don't come from strength, but from persistence. He handed Elias the chisel he was using. Now, carve your dream like I carve this stone, one patient strike at a time. Elias returned home, his heart filled with new energy. He picked up his unfinished guitar and decided to play again. This time, he made a rule for himself, just 10 minutes of practice every day, no matter what. At first, his hands hurt. He wanted to quit. But he remembered the old man and the roots. 10 minutes became 30. 30 became an hour. Weeks passed, and soon, beautiful melodies filled his home. He then picked up his old canvas and started painting, a few brushstrokes every evening. Slowly, his unfinished works came to life. Years later, Elias became known in nearby towns for his music and paintings. When people asked him the secret of his success, he always smiled and said, "Just water your plant every day." One evening, Elias went back to the riverbank, hoping to see the old man again. The stone seat was empty, but his tools were still there, neatly arranged. He sat down and looked at the flowing water. The sun was setting, painting the sky gold. Elias whispered softly, "Thank you, old man. I finally understand." He realized that consistency is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's not about doing things for one day with excitement, but for many days with commitment. Even a small step, when repeated daily, becomes a giant leap over time. Elias's story spread through the valley. People started calling him the man who never missed a day. He taught children and villagers that greatness is not built in moments of motivation, but in moments of quiet effort, when no one is watching, when nothing seems to change, but the roots are growing strong beneath the surface. He told them, "Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect time. Just start. And when you start, don't stop." Consistency turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. The story of Elias is a reminder for all of us. You don't need to do everything at once. Just one small step every day. Success doesn't appear suddenly. It grows quietly, like roots under the ground. The secret is not in working harder, but in showing up every day, even when it's boring, hard, or slow. One strike doesn't break the stone. One drop doesn't grow the tree. But 1,000 strikes and 1,000 drops, done with consistency, can build miracles. So, keep watering your dream. Keep striking the stone. Keep showing up. Because one day, like Elias, you'll look back and realize that what once felt small has become something powerful, all because you didn't stop.